The Rivers State House of Assembly has given Governor Siminalayi Fubara 48 hours to present the 2025 budget to the lawmakers. They made this known during plenary in Port Harcourt on Monday, with the motion moved by the Deputy Speaker, Dumle Mole. In his remarks, Samarale condemned Fubara's directive to the heads of local government administration to take charge of the councils, saying it is illegal and against the Supreme Court's decision. The lawmakers drew the governor's attention to the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended, the Rivers State Local Government Law 2023 as amended, as well as the judgment of the Supreme Court that prohibits the administration of local governments by HLGAs or any other persons other than democratically elected officials. And in the meantime, the special advisor to FCT Minister Nelson Wike, Larry Olayinka, says Governor Sim Fubara has no power to determine who runs local governments in Rivers State. Olayinka insisted only democratically elected chairmen and councillors can lead, citing the Constitution and Supreme Court ruling on LG autonomy. Now, this follows Fubara's directive for council chairmen to hand over the heads of local government administration after the Supreme Court voided the October 5, 2024 elections. Olayinka argues that the Rivers Assembly, not the governor, should decide on tenure extensions. Fubara, however, maintains his administration will fully implement the Supreme Court's ruling and ensure compliance with constitutional provisions. Now to discuss this development, we are joined by a political analyst, Gloria Harry. Gloria, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us here on News Central this afternoon. Now, Gloria, I'll go right ahead and ask, what are the potential political implications of lawmakers giving Governor Fubara just 48 hours to present the 2025 budget? Unfortunately, we are unable to communicate with Gloria. We seem to be having technical difficulties, so we'll bring you that conversation subsequently. Do stay tuned. Now, the governorship candidate of the opposition People's Democratic Party in the 2023 general elections in Lagos, Abdulazeez Adediran, has resigned his membership of the party. Adediran, popularly known as Jandor, announced his resignation during a press briefing at Liberty Place in Ikeja on Monday, citing what he described as indiscipline and anti-party activities as reasons for his departure. Adediran placed third with 62,449 votes behind Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the All Progressives Congress, who got 762,134 votes, and Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour of the Labour Party, who garnered 312,329 votes. The former gubernatorial candidate didn't disclose the new party he'd be joining, but said extensive consultations would be done before he and his supporters would be pitching their tent with any political party in the state.
I am here before you today with a heavy heart but a clear conscience. We have dedicated ourselves to the ideals of democracy, good governance, and the pursuit of a better Lagos. However, it has become evident that the leadership of the People's Democratic Party, both at the national and state levels, has failed to uphold this principle. The persistent anti-party activities, the internal sabotage.
Our Speaker Mojisola Miranda is currently presiding over the plenary at the Lagos State House of Assembly. House Speaker Mudashiru Obasa, who was earlier at the Assembly complex, is not at the Monday sitting. Just moments before, Miranda and all the lawmakers at the House earlier held a meeting outside the chamber with Lagos APC Chairman Honorable Cornelius Ajelabi attempting to mediate the crisis. The Attorney General of Lagos State, Lawal Pedro, who was also at the meeting. Obasa had earlier arrived around 1:30 p.m. to join the lawmakers at the meeting held under a tent. He later left the meeting after a separate chat with the AG, Ajelabi, and other party stakeholders. It is not certain yet how the leadership tussle between Miranda and Obasa would be resolved, but Monday's events have also seen the lawmakers eulogizing Miranda and saluting her leadership. And the Oyo State government has received the report of the Committee on Management Disbursement of the Bodija Explosion Relief Fund, noting that the state government will look into the recommendations and implement them as appropriate. Now, it's been over a month since the anniversary of the explosion, and despite initial promises, the state government has yet to deliver the support it assured. However, hope appears to be on the horizon for victims of the January 16, 2024 explosion, with the presentation of this committee report on the management and disbursement of relief funds for families of the disaster, who observers say are avoidable. The state governor, Seyi Makinde, who was represented by Abdurrahim Bayolawal, his deputy, who doubles as the chairman of the Relief Fund Committee, said that the event that held led to setting up of the committee was sad and avoidable.
The committee, in its deliberations, factored into taking a robust decision and making recommendation, factored its work on the reports prepared by trilateral meeting of DOVG, BERA, and the experts, that is the Nigerian Society of Engineers, on the framework for the distribution of government financial assistance pledged to the affected persons. Your Excellency, the work of the committee has been completed, and the report that is being presented to Your Excellency this morning by the committee is in 4 volumes.
Expectations is that, like His Excellency said, the implementation will be expedited. This has waited for too long, 1 year and 1 month. We believe we've done due diligence, the committee, and what we are presenting should be ready to go. So we appreciate the expediency that makes the state government agree that the deputy governor himself should just stand in for the governor so that we can get this behind us.
I want to assure on behalf of His Excellency that this report will be looked into very quickly, and the recommendations therein will be implemented. Because we do not have the luxury of further delay in implementation.
Now, away from that, Nigeria's Accountant General has identified major setbacks in implementing the Supreme Court's ruling on local government autonomy. The Federation Account Allocation Committee revealed that most local government councils have failed to submit their account details, a key requirement for direct payments. Additionally, determining which councils have democratically elected leaders remains a challenge. Of the 774 councils, only Delta State's 25 LGAs have provided account details. Talks between the Accountant General's office and the Attorney General are ongoing to resolve the issues. Meanwhile, the central bank is profiling local government chairmen as part of financial accountability measures. 8 months after the Supreme Court's ruling, local government autonomy is yet to be fully implemented. And now we go on our first break, and when we get back, President Bola Tinubu chairs ongoing cabinet meeting in Abuja. Details of this and more if you stay tuned. And now we bring you visuals from the Lagos State House of Assembly, where Honorable Mojisola Miranda is actually presiding over plenary at this moment. Let's take a look-see inside of the Lagos State House of Assembly.
Honorable Kennedy, thank you, Madam Speaker, once again. I hereby renominate and affirm Honorable Richard Castle as the Deputy Majority Leader in accordance with Order 7, Prop. 31, Subsection 1 of the standing rules of the House of Assembly, I so nominate. Thank you, ma'am. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Arunoshu. Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Honorable Arunoshu, representing Protocol 2. I want to nominate and affirm our majority leader, Honorable Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivour, under Circle Rule 27(1) as majority leader of this House. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Deputy Speaker. Dear Honorable colleagues, resignation and deputy speakers of the 10th Assembly, it is with a deep sense of responsibility, commitment to the collective interest of this Honorable House, that I hereby tender my resignation as the Deputy Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, effective today, 3rd of March 2025. This decision was not made lightly. I carefully considered both the circumstances that led to my election as the Deputy Speaker on 13th January 2025, and the need to uphold the supremacy of our great party, the All Progressive Congress. As real party members, we are bound to respect and align with decisions that ensure unity, stability, and progress of both our party and this Honorable House. We as legislators, bearing the sacred duties of representing the good people of Lagos State, safeguarding democracy, and ensure good governance. I'm mindful of the historical significance of my tenure, not just for myself, but for the peoples of Ibeji Constituency 1 as a whole. For the first time, our constituency had the opportunity to serve at these high levels of leadership within the Lagos State House of Assembly, a milestone that will never, forever remain a proud moment in the political journey. I sincerely appreciate the unwavering support and collaboration of esteemed colleagues, the leadership of our party, the management and staff of this House. Your solidarity, encouragement made my tenure as the Deputy Speaker an enriching experience. I will always cherish the bond that we have built together. When I step down from this position, I remain steadfast in my legislative duty as representative of the Lagos Constituency 1. My commitment to the progress of Lagos and well-being of the constituent remain unshaken. And I look forward to continue our shared efforts in the House. Thank you all for the opportunity to serve in this capacity and for your continued support as we work towards a better Lagos. Yours in service, Right Honorable Mogi Fatai, member representing the Lagos Constituency 1. Thank you very much. Honorable Ikeja Suraj.
Madam Speaker, on Assembly 31, I this afternoon to nominate Honorable Babajide Fatai from the Ikeja 1 to take the position of Chief of the Lagos State House of Assembly. I so move.
Honorable Bonu Solomon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I hereby second the motion. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Chief, can you please take the chair? Good afternoon once again, my distinguished colleagues, staffers of this great house, our great party, and everybody seated here this afternoon in this chamber. My dear and gallant honorable colleagues, this is a notice of resignation as Speaker of the General Assembly. Once again, history beckoned on me to make personal sacrifice towards resolving the stalemate in terrible leadership crisis rocking this assembly of patriots. I come from the illustrious Lawal family of Lagos. My family has played and shall continue to play defining roles in entrenching democracy, good governance, and the development of our people. I will never depart from the well-established path of honor, dignity, integrity, and the service as personified by my late father, Chief Taoreed Akonde Lawal Adediran II, the past Ojora of Lagos. Please permit me, dear colleagues, to restate the position I previously expressed in a lead publication, wherein I stated as follows. 1. It is with every sense of responsibility that I hereby give you notice of my decision to resign as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly with effect from today, 3rd of March 2025. I did not arrive at this decision lightly. Indeed, I took it carefully consideration all the primary and integral circumstances that accumulated in my election as Speaker on the 13th of January 2025. On the one hand, and the recent political turmoil, which is threatening the cohesion of this honorable house, on the other hand. We are the representative of the good people of Lagos with the mandate to protect our democracy and ensure good governance. I am a good student of political history, and in this regard, I know that this is a point at which, as your leader, I have to make this selfless sacrifice to resign in order to protect this institution. With your unflinching support, I made history as the first female Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly. And I value and cherish the solidarity freely given to me. My esteemed honorable members, I do not leave out the management and staff of this assembly. I am sincerely grateful to each of you for your support and collaboration during my short but very interesting tenure. I leave this position as the Right Honorable Speaker of this House, and I shall continue to serve my good people of Apapa Constituency 1 in particular, and our teaming Lagos in general. Thank you for finding me worthy to lead this distinguished and honorable assembly. I am not a quitter. However, I took the above decision
provision in order to save this legislative institution from further unnecessary conflict and embarrassment. Accordingly, and in difference to the visitors of our esteemed political leaders, I have agreed to yet again make a personal sacrifice by stepping down as the Speaker of this great assembly. Dear distinguished and gallant honorable members of this 10th assembly, occasionally we are confronted with esteemed overwhelming challenges in conflict management, but as a responsible leader, we will not break down the legislative house. We collectively build a pursuit of justice and fairness. For those who have been unfairly verified for standing on the side of fair play, kindly take note that there will always be opportunity to right any wrong. I am encouraged by the dialogue of personal messages, phone calls, public show of support, and groundswell of solidarity from a broad spectrum of our society. Indeed, our nation is blessed with great men and women of honor. It is my firmest hope that the leadership of our great party will continue to provide guidance and support for the aspiration of our people. I sincerely thank you all for your understanding and support. Just like we know that the party decision is supreme. At this point, I take a bow as your Speaker, and I step down as your Speaker of this great House. But before I leave, I have a little song. And I give the credit to one of our Islamic singers. Oreni, ibi ẹlẹ́wà dé yìí náà, oreni. Àwọn ọmọ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ká tó sáré bẹ́yìn kọ́ mọ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀yìn ilé wa. God bless Lagos State and God bless you.
So, as a result of this, I would like to call for the election of the Deputy Speaker. Motion for election for the office of the Deputy Speaker, please.
Thank you very much. This is the opportunity and the time we have been waiting for. At this moment, I, Honorable Olawale Adesunema, representing Amu Odofin Constituency 2, hereby in line with Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, Section 92, Subsection 1, nominates the Right Honorable Speaker, the Right Honorable Miranda, Mojisola Lasbat, to take the share of deputy.
Visuals there from the Lagos State House of Assembly as we have just witnessed the resignation of Honorable Mojisola Miranda, the first female Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, as she tenders her resignation alongside her Deputy Speaker and also the Chief Whip. They have just tendered in their resignation, and a motion for the election of Deputy Speaker has just been raised. We'll continue to bring you details from the Lagos State House of Assembly as this continues, if only you stay right here on News Central Television. In fact, as I've just been told, we're still going to be going back to those visuals so that you can get a full account of everything happening right now.
Administration of oath of office to the office of the Deputy Speaker on Mrs. Honorable Mrs. Mojisola Miranda as the Deputy Speaker of the the 10th House of Assembly. Madam Speaker, 10th House of Assembly, you have elected to swear on the Quran. I,
Right Honorable Mojisola Miranda, do solemnly swear that in the service of the state as the Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Lagos State of Nigeria at all times. I will not discriminate on the basis of religion, tribe, cult, or status, or practice any form of partiality in the performance of my official duties. I will always perform my official duties diligently and efficiently. I will not engage or be involved in any activities in conflict, either directly or indirectly, with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. I will, in the performance of my official duties, show and expose corruption in any of the spaces in and outside the public service. I will not communicate or reveal any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my official duties to any person except as may be required for the due discharge of my official duties or as may be officially permitted by the Speaker. I will always follow the path of justice, honesty, and concord among all the people of Lagos State in particular and Nigeria in general. In all I do, so God help me.
thank you very much.
Nomination for the post of the Speaker as the seat is now vacant. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. I, Honorable Noy Madams, represent the good people of Ikeja Constituency 1, rise this afternoon to nominate Right Honorable Dr. Mudashiru Adediran to take the chair as the Speaker of this prestigious Lagos State House of Assembly. I so nominate. Any seconder? I, Honorable Prince Ikeja, representing the good people of Mushin, I rise to second the motion as you. Thank you. Now, I got my second nomination of Honorable as Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Thank you. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? In view of no other nominations, I hereby declare Honorable Ajayi Obasa as the new Speaker of the 10th Assembly, Lagos State House of Assembly.
Administration of oath of the office of the Speaker on Honorable Mr. Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa as the Speaker of the 10th House of Assembly. You are elected to swear on the oath. I
Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, solemnly swear that in the service of the state as the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly, I will be faithful, bear true allegiance to Lagos State of Nigeria at all times. I will not discriminate on the basis of religion, tribe, cause, status, or practice my form of in practice of any form of partiality in the performance of my official duties. I will always perform my official duties diligently and efficiently. I will not engage or be involved in any activities in conflict, either directly or indirectly, with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. I will, in the performance of my official issue and expose corruption in any of its phases in and outside the public service. I will not communicate or reveal any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my official duties to anybody except as may be required for the due discharge of my official duties as the Speaker. I will always follow the path of justice, honesty, and
among all the people of Lagos State, in particular, Nigeria in general. All I do, help me Allah.
Thank you very much, sir. Please put your signature here. Congratulations, sir. Sir, please have the second one.
Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. I want to start by appreciating my colleagues. I want to thank you for your support, your dedication, your loyalty, and your strong belief in our party and the utmost respect for our party leaders. I thank you and I always appreciate you for all you do. And let me sincerely single out my sister, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Moji Miranda, who has been very supportive, loyal as Deputy Speaker. I thank you, ma'am, for everything. Thank you, God bless you. And let me also recognize our party chairman, Cornelius Ejelabi, and his team from our party secretariat. I thank you for everything. Our Attorney General, Mr. Pedro, thank you for being in our midst today. And management and staff of Lagos State House of Assembly, without you, we won't get to this stage. Above common standard of excellence, just don't come freely, but because of the hard work you put into the business of this house, Lagos State House of Assembly, I thank you for all you do, and I believe this is a challenge to you all, for you to do more. I thank you, always recognize for what you put into the business of the Lagos State House of Assembly. I'm very sure their negotiations would like to hear more from me, but I want to sincerely say today is not the day for speech making, but to appreciate my colleagues and all our leaders who have put a lot to this gathering today. We thank them, particularly I must recognize our national leader, the former governor of Osun State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and his counterpart from Ogun State, former governor of Ogun State, Olusegun Oshoga, and all our GAC leaders. We thank them. Our amiable governor, his deputy from Lagos State, and other party loyalists. We thank you, we recognize all of you. And we want to assure Lagosians that for us, we have resolved and determined to serve their interests and protect their interests always. Our major responsibility is to represent them, and that we have been doing. So I'll also add this, that what is happening here today shows that Lagos State House of Assembly is very capable, and it's a house of integrity, a mature house that has internal mechanism to resolve in the interest of the institution and our party. As I have said, today is not a speech-making day, but a day to celebrate my colleagues. And thank them for all they've been doing. And I'm sure we'll continue to work together in peace, in love, and in harmony. So once again, I want to thank you. God bless all of us. Thank you for everything. And I must not leave behind our friends, the fifth column news of the Red. Is it? Sorry, fourth estate of the year. Fourth estate, thank you, my brother. So we want to thank you for your support in all these. the role you have played. We thank you, we appreciate you. So God bless you abundantly as well. So as I have said, today is not the speech making day. We will really create time to come back and address it. So at this note, I want to call on the majority leader to adjourn the sitting of the House.
Distinguished colleagues, we have come to the end of this plenary. I have directives to move that this House adjourns sender. I so move.
Honorable Abiodun Ogule.
I second the motion and go right to the motion.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those against nay, the ayes. This House stands adjourned, seated at aye right.
Visuals from the Lagos State House of Assembly as Honorable Mudashiru Obasa has been returned as the Speaker of the House. Started just this afternoon with the resignation of the former Speaker, that's Mojisola Meranda, as she resigns as the Speaker, and also returned as Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. These instances have followed from last week Thursday that saw the return of what was or who was the former Speaker from before, Mudashiru Obasa, to the complex only on Thursday, and currently now being returned as the Speaker after the resignation of Mojisola Meranda and her Deputy Speaker from before, Fatai, as well. Well, we'll continue to bring details from the Lagos State House of Assembly as it unfolds, only here on News Central TV. In fact, we have our correspondent who might be joining us before or maybe in subsequent bulletins right here. And then we'll return to other matters here inside of the news. The Federal Executive Council meeting has commenced in Abuja. The meeting, being chaired by President Bola Tinubu, is expected to review a wide range of projects across the country and attend to memos submitted by federal cabinet ministers. News Central is on ground at the Cabinet Chamber of the Presidential Villa and will update you as more information comes in. The Arawa Consultative Forum, the ACF, has called for a transparent investigation into Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's sexual harassment allegations against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. In a statement, AFC's National Publicity Secretary, Professor Tukur Mohammed Baba, expressed concerns over the controversy, warning that it damages the reputation of the Senate. The forum noted the potential negative impact on Nigeria's National Assembly and the representation of Kogi Central in the Senate. ACF urged a thorough, independent and unbiased probe to restore public confidence. It joined other Nigerians in calling for a swift resolution to the crisis to protect the integrity of the legislative arm of government. In more news, human rights advocates in Abuja have called for an end to torture by security operators in the country. While speaking to citizens on the current situation in the country, they say the use of torture is counterproductive, violating the fundamental human rights of citizens and in breach of the nation's Anti-Torture Act.
The Mendel's principle has established that, one, for you to have effective interrogation, you must respect the person's human rights. You must assume, that the person is innocent until confirmed guilty. That your method of interrogation must be evidence-based and scientific, as opposed to, you know how they say, he walks like a dog, he talks like a dog, he barks like a dog, then he must be a dog. No, that's a lazy approach. And when you use coercion and you use torture to interrogate people, it's actually counterproductive, because at the end of the day, number one, apart from the fact that it violates their fundamental human rights, it's not very productive, it's not very fruitful, because more than likely you would end up convicting the wrong person.
The Anti-Torture Act has prohibited torture, has criminalized it. So what the expectation is that torture should be reduced minimally, because people are taken to court for torturing others. But is it happening? That is the major concern. And are we able to convince officers, the law enforcement agents, that they can actually do their work without torturing anybody? Are we able to convince them that torture is counterproductive?
Somalia's national television is reporting that more than 40 Al-Shabaab fighters have been eliminated in a successful operation. A statement from the Somali army confirmed that the mission, conducted with the assistance of international partners, took place in Biya, Qatar area of Hishabelle state. The army announced on the social media platform X that the national armed forces, along with international allies and vigilant local communities, will continue their efforts to eliminate terrorist threats. Somalia has been plagued by insecurity for years, with the main threats emanating from Al-Shabaab and other terror groups. We're live to our News Central correspondent, Bernard Akede, who's on ground. Bernard, good afternoon. It has been quite a week from last week up until now. You have followed matters. In fact, you've been in the compound of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Could you give us a detailed account of everything that's happened from today up until now?
All right, Mazino, a very good afternoon to you. It is, and I believe that today is the day that will go down in history, not just in Lagos State, but across the country generally. Yes, like you've seen, just like you would see in a movie, if you want to put it that way, we have been following the proceedings all through from last week up until now. And yes, eventually our speculations were correct. Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa has stepped in as the 10th Speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly, and Honorable Mojisola Miranda has stepped down. She resigned as a Speaker and is now the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. We also did see some, shake-up here and there. We saw some other members from their positions, like the. Well, I'll go through that list again, and then we'll get to see those ones. But definitely, there was, some shake-up eventually. So I'll run through, the. I'll say the list of events as we had it this morning. Very, very early this morning, we were present at the gates of the Lagos State House of Assembly, and we saw security operatives here in larger numbers than what we had last week Thursday. As a matter of fact, than what we've had all through the week leading up until today, based on speculations that what you saw was going to happen, and it did eventually happen. We also did hear earlier today on radio that the acting clerk stated that workers of the House of Assembly should work from home today because we're not sure of what exactly was going to go on. But eventually, there were workers that started driving in and coming in ones and twos, and that the security checks was more, more than what we had before. We had vehicles had to be opened, their trunks had to be opened, people had to be checked, and then different roads leading to the House of Assembly was cordoned off eventually. Well, long and short of the story is, eventually there was a proceeding here presided by Honorable Mojisola Miranda. Certain people stepped down from their positions. Other people were nominated to take over those positions and did take over. And then finally, Honorable Mojisola Miranda, being the last person to step down from her position, she resigned as the Speaker of the House of Assembly. And, well, as I mentioned earlier, now the 10th Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly has taken his seat in the person of Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa.
Now, Bernard, you said something. You actually indicated that we're watching history being made. History would, it would depend which chapter you're reading from, whose book you're reading, actually. So what was the countenance of the majority of the lawmakers as Honorable Mudashiru Obasa was returned as a Speaker? Also noting the reaction that we got from most of them from last week, what was it like, the atmosphere and the countenance of these lawmakers as he returned?
First of all, let me say that I think I found out the reason why the chamber is called the Hallowed Chambers. It was very quiet and very solemn on the inside of the Hallowed Chambers, so to speak. We had different people, first of all, speak and shower encomium on Mojisola Miranda just before she stepped down. Several honorable members, spoke about the things she had done, spoke about how she had been such an eloquent leader, how she had this family mentality, so to speak, and she carried all of them along with everything she did, regardless of how short her spell was, and then Honorable Muda, or Right Honorable, as he now is the Speaker, was there on the bylines. It was almost like a script that was being played out, So again, it was quite quiet. It was very hollow. That's how it's supposed to be anyway. There were no, there was nobody holding back. There was nobody causing any issues. It was just basically like the procedure and the proceedings had to flow as best it should. It almost was like it was a script that had been written and just waiting to be played out anyway. So there was no, there was no apprehension. There were no issues, even by some of the honorables who, as at last week, said we reject Obasa. I remember I saw the face of Honorable Desmond Elliott of Surulere constituency, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of those on that clip last week Thursday when our colleague Bettina Unweli was interviewing them. He was one of those saying we reject, Obasa. Anyway, what I can remember him doing today was shower encomium on Honorable Miranda, and that's the most that they did. Nobody rejected anybody. Nobody threw any tantrum. Nobody made any or did anything wrong, basically. It was a smooth process. Again, as I mentioned before, it was like a script that was written, just, waiting to be played out.
I was actually going to say it seemed rather plastic, plenty of rhetoric regarding peace, but it still had a very deep undertone, depending how you looked at it, especially if you followed the story from last week or even January 14th. How is it that it was impossible for you to speak with any of the lawmakers, please? Were they so swift to disperse?
Well, I think, first of all, as Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa did say while he was, just after he swore the oath to become the 10th Speaker of the House of Assembly, he said today is not a day for long speeches, that there will be time for that. But today was just the day to congratulate everybody and to thank those who played their part in everything that has happened. And I think the other lawmakers told that part as well, feeling that today is not a day of long speeches. There eventually will be time to speak. I think everybody is playing the waiting game, seeing who will speak first, or perhaps waiting for the new speaker to be the one to speak first. I mean, he is the speaker anyway. So maybe after he has eventually broken the silence, then we will begin to hear from others if eventually they would want to speak. But I do hope that they get, that they get to say something, because there's a lot to say. There's a lot to be said. Honorable Sir, I want to see if we can get some of the honorables to speak. I doubt if that will happen, but we will try. Now he has shaken his head. He said he's not going to speak. He shook his head right now and said no, he's not going to speak. So it's still the same thing. None of them is speaking just yet. Again, I believe that after the Right Honorable Mudashiru Rajayi Obasa would have broken the silence and spoken, then maybe we would have other honorables, handle the microphone and speak to the press.
Well, Bernard, I want to say thank you for all the efforts since last Thursday. Please do come back before you become a permanent fixture there at the Lagos State Assembly complex. Thank you. We'll be expecting to see you, but please bring back more footages of everything that's been happening. Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody who's been staying tuned to see the processes that have been happening inside the Lagos State House of Assembly, as we've just seen the return of the Speaker. That is none other than Honorable Mudashiru Obasa as the Lagos State Speaker. They're donning a very interesting #1 hat with corresponding lilac shirt. Very interesting. Well, we'll be bringing you more. Do stay tuned. This is News Central. My name is Mazino Appeal. And that's all this hour. Do remember, you can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Able TV, and of course on YouTube.